Holiday season is just around the corner, and if you're looking for a gift for a loved one or you want to treat yourself, in this video we will go over everything with regards to making better content with a smartphone, and I will share with you my top picks so that you can get the best stuff for yourself or for your loved ones, and we will leave out all the fluff. By the way, just a very quick thing before we start with the most essential part, which is the smartphone. I have something very special to announce. In early January 2024, we will launch a brand new program called Smartphone Agency, where we will show you step by step how you can take your content creation skills and turn them into a profitable side hustle. If you want to save a spot in the live webinar on January 7th, then make sure to click the first link below the like button and sign up completely for free. I promise you this is gonna be wild. But now let's get started with the video. All right, so the first category is gonna be the smartphone itself, and this is probably the most important part of your entire content creation setup. And I've divided this into iPhone and Android, and then also if you are on a budget, and also if money doesn't play a role for you. So first of all, let's start off with the iOS side of things, and if money does not play a role for you, then I can absolutely and very much recommend the iPhone 15 Pro or the 15 Pro Max. In my opinion, there's not a big difference between the 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max. The only difference is the size. Like the 15 Pro Max is absolutely gigantic. For me personally, it's too big, but in the end, it just comes down to personal preference. And one bonus that you get with the 15 Pro Max is that you also get a 5x lens instead of the 3x lens with the 15 Pro. I do like that lens, but if we compare that to the Android side of things, if money does not play a role for you, then I would go with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. We've had this phone for half a year or so, and this is an absolute beast. It's also very, very big, a bit heavy and a bit chunky for me personally. But when it comes to the photos and the videos that you can create with the smartphone, this is very, very good. I actually have to admit that I like the 10x lens of the S23 Ultra way more compared to the 5x lens of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And overall, when it comes to making great content, you can't go wrong with either of them. If the budget is important for you and you're looking for an Android phone, then I can recommend the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus. I hope I got that right. It's about 350 bucks and it has tons of very great feature. You also get plenty of different lenses, so I can very much recommend that. If you're looking for a budget iPhone alternative, then to be honest, you could of course look towards the iPhone SE, but I would much rather recommend that you check out like a refurbished iPhone 12 Pro or something like this, depending on your budget. All right, next up, let's talk about tripods. And the tripod that I'm recommending at the moment is this ShiftCam one right here. I just recently got that into the studio, and I gotta admit, this is very, very handy, and it has plenty of cool features. One thing that I like, if you want to, expand the legs and shorten it and so on, all you gotta do, just screw on this knob right here, and then you can expand it to, it's like about like a meter or something like this. I don't know exactly how high it can go up. This is definitely not, if you plan to shoot outside and you want to film people standing, this is not for you. But if you're looking for a compact tripods that you can use, also if you're using it on the table, for example, I have been using this in combination with my iPhone on the desk, and I've basically just been using my iPhone as a webcam. This has been working perfectly fine. I have also, traveled with this when I went to Amsterdam recently. So if you're looking for a compact tripod that you can take with you on the go and also place on your desk, I think it also looks very cool with this matte black finish. And yeah, it also comes with this ball head here at the top, so you can basically just, just dial in whatever that you want. And yeah, you can also level it. And so basically it comes with all the features that you want from a tripod. It is a bit more on the pricier side, so it's definitely not the cheapest out of all tripods, but it's definitely very, very good to have. All right, so the next category is all about microphones, and I have 3 different options for you guys depending on your use case. First up is the Rode Video NTG. I've had this for about a year now, and I gotta say I absolutely love this, and this is my personal go-to on-camera microphone, like whenever I'm vlogging or doing something like this. It does come with this windscreen right here. This is not the best windscreen on the planet. It's definitely very good to get rid of any plosives. You should probably invest into a better windscreen such as a dead cat. What I really like with this setup is you can just plug this in directly into your professional camera. So I can use this with my R5C or whatever that I'm using. But on the other side, as you can see right here, it does also have a USB Type-C connector. And that means that I can plug this directly into my iPhone, into my Android phone, and I do not need to use any TRRS adapters or anything like this. So this is very handy. This does also come with phantom power built in, so you do not need any external power source and can basically just plug this in and turn it on. And then you can also dial in several different settings. So super easy to use. You can also change the gain. So yeah, overall, just a very handy microphone for on-camera purposes. The next microphone system I want to talk about is the Rode Wireless ME. It's this wireless microphone system right here. And this is very interesting. This is also from Rode, same company as the microphone before. And you get one transmitter and one receiver. But the cool part, or the part that makes this different compared to all the other options, is that on the receiver, you also have a microphone. So theoretically, and also, in practice, you can actually record two people at the same time. It's also very small. You can also connect this directly with USB-C or Lightning to your iPhone or to your Android phone. And overall, it does have very good audio quality. And I have made a full review about this, and I will link that up there. And the last microphone system that I have in my hand right now, this is the Hollyland Lark Max. This comes in this very cool box, and basically you can see at the back here, you have a USB-C connector, and this entire thing is a charging case. So whenever you charge this case and you put in the transmitter and the two receivers, no, vice versa. You have one receiver and two transmitters, and whenever you put them into the box, they will always be fully charged. So as you can see right now, they are also completely charged. And if you put them out, for example, if you only want to use one, then they connect automatically. You can see the gain right here. You can also change this directly on this system right here. You can also mute it. Basically, you get all the features that you would ever want to have. And I gotta admit, it does look a bit similar to the DJI mic, but to be honest, with the DJI mic, I had lots of problem in the past. I had some reliability issues. One even broke, so we had to return one entirely. So having an alternative like this is definitely very, very handy. And yeah, I've not mentioned that before, but I will link all the products that I'm talking about in this video down below. All right, next up, let's talk about stabilizers for a smartphone, but also for smaller mirrorless cameras. So basically there are plenty of different options, and on the channel we have 100 different videos about different gimbals, but these are currently my go-to gimbals. So first up, we have the Zion Smooth 5S. This has been out for about a year now. Overall, it's very, very solid. You can attach lights at the top and can also use this vertically, horizontally. A very reliable gimbal. It's nothing crazy. It does not have any AI tracking or something like this. But overall, like I said, a very reliable gimbal. I think it has a payload of 390 grams. So it can handle a 15 Pro Max easily. So overall, a very good gimbal, and the gimbal that I have been using the most before I got this in-house. And this brings me over to the Hohem iSteady M6. This is probably currently the gimbal that I'm using most often, and it's very similar to the Zion Smooth 5S, but it does have a cool party trick, which is this thing here. And this is not only a light, but this is also an AI tracking tool. And it connects via these magnets at the top. And then basically, I have a full review about this, so in case you want to learn more about this, check out the video up there. But basically what this can do, it can track yourself without having to use any specific app or so on. Basically, you just do this hand gesture and then it starts following you around. This gimbal has a payload of 410 grams, I think, so it also can handle a 15 Pro Max easily. You can also use a filter, but by the time you're using add-on lenses and so on, I would look more towards this gimbal over here. And this is the bigger brother of the iSteady M6. This is the Hohem iSteady MT2. From the outside, it does look very similar to the iSteady M6, and also when it comes to the functions and so on, it's also very, very similar. You also get the AI tracking tool. You can also remove it, just as the same thing as with the M6. But the cool thing is, this does have a payload of 1.2 kilograms, which means, for example, if you're using, let's say, an iPhone 15 Pro Max with an add-on lens, with a filter, maybe even with a cage, for this gimbal, this is absolutely no problem. So in case you're looking for a gimbal that has way more payload and where you have way more headroom compared to a smartphone gimbal like this, then I can definitely recommend this one right here. It does also have a quick release plate, so you can change from shooting vertically and horizontally just within a couple of seconds. But again, we do also have a full review about this, and I will link that up there. All right, so let's talk about add-on lenses and filters. And what I have on the table right here, this is a very sturdy case. And inside there are some fantastic add-on lenses and also filters. This is the ShiftCam Ultra, and I have made a review about this. I'm not quite sure if it's already published. If it is, it will be up there. And if not, make sure to subscribe because it will be released very, very soon. So in this package, you have basically everything that you could ever wish for. You have a wide angle lens. This is a 16mm wide angle lens. So if you put that, for example, on your regular lens, you'll have a wider field of view, but get a better quality compared to using the ultra wide angle lens. You have two anamorphic lenses. So if you're looking for that film look, you have a 1.55 and also 1.33. You get those very cool blue J.J. Abrams style lens flares, and overall very cool to use, very easy to use. And what I like with this entire setup is not only do you get all the lenses, but you also get CPL filters and variable ND filters. And you can use them with all the different lenses. So no matter if you're using an anamorphic lens or a wide angle lens or a macro lens, all the different lenses can be used with all the different filters, which is super cool. Besides that, maybe one more lens that's pretty cool to talk about is the 200-degree fisheye lens. So if you take a closer look at that beast, this creates a very cool effect. For example, if you're planning to shoot some music videos or something like this, this is very, very cool to have. To be honest, this entire set is a bit on the pricier side, but you get very, very high quality. And if you invest into a setup like this once, then I can guarantee you, you will be able to use them for, for plenty of different smartphones that you will have in the next couple of years. So if you're looking for add-on lenses, I would recommend to go probably all the way and to invest into better gear and not having to buy like additional add-on lenses each year. Because if you buy the real stuff once, then you will be good for years to come. All right, and now let's talk about some filters for smartphone. ShiftCam does also have filters. We've talked about them, but these two are some of my favorite filters, especially for the S23 Ultra, and this one especially for the iPhone. So let's start off with the S23 Ultra. And this is from Freewell, and this is their set for the S23 Ultra. I think I said that a couple of times, but basically how this works is you have different strengths of ND, and you basically just take your S23 Ultra, and at the back here there are magnets, and basically you just align them, and then you have this very cool, very sleek, very minimal looking thing. And if you're shooting outside, if you're looking for some long time exposure or something like this, or just you want to get the correct exposure without cranking up the shutter speed, then this is gonna be very, very fantastic. As I said before, just attaches magnetically, super sturdy, so you don't have to worry about it falling off. And yeah, very cool setup. And by the way, I do also have a full review about this on the channel, so I will link that up there. And now let's come over to the iPhone side of things. And this is the Pan-Shim filter system. I've also made a full review about this. And it's basically sort of the same like overall approach like we had with the Freewell one, but just for iPhones. And basically how it works is you get this tiny attachment, and they do also have a cage. And basically you can just put in the different filters that you want to have. So you just slide them in place, then it snaps in. It has this very cool sound. So it has this very cool sound. And then unfortunately, I do not have the iPhone 15 Pro MagSafe adapter yet. So this is the one for the 14 Pro, but it also fits pretty nice. And you can also change between different strengths of ND. They do also have a cloud diffusion filter, so basically anything that you will ever need. All right, so next up, let's talk about cages. And this is a very interesting topic. And I have 3 different options for you guys. Of course, there are plenty of more options as well, but let's just go through them one after another. So first up is this one from Small Rig right here. And I have also attached the handles. And one thing that I really like with this setup is the quick release system of the handles. So let's say I wanted to film like this. And one thing that is very cool, here in this part of the cage, there are magnets, and this is basically a MagSafe connector. So as you know, on the iPhone on the back here, you just have magnets as well. So you can basically just put it in like this, and this is very steady and very sturdy as well. So I'm not worrying about this falling out. I have been talking with my co-founder, like before we started recording this video. I probably would not film a car commercial hanging out of a driving car with this setup. But when it comes to doing this, then I would probably use something that is more like this. But overall, as I mentioned before, the quick release plate is also very cool. Basically, you just push these two buttons, then it opens up. And then you can switch from vertical to horizontal shooting or vice versa. And yeah, it only takes like a couple of seconds, and overall, yeah, just a very cool grip, and you can use this basically with any smartphone or with any iPhone that has the MagSafe at the back of. Now let's hop over to another small rig cage. This one is brand new, and it's the Brandon Lee Signature Series edition for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And this is a very cool cage. It's specifically made for the 15 Pro Max, so it fits absolutely perfectly fine. There is no space in between. It's not wobbling around or anything like this. You can see at the back here, you can also attach add-on lenses like super fast, super easily. And it does also come with an adapter so that you can also attach a variable ND filter. This does come in the package, and you can also attach the same grip. So let me just show you very quickly. Basically, you can just attach the same grips as before, and you can also add a second one, and at the top and at the bottom. So yeah, if you're specifically searching for a cage for the iPhone 15 or 15 Pro Max, then I would definitely go with this route, as you know, this just fits the best, and it overall, it's not super clunky, super big. So yeah, just very, very small, very lightweight, and yeah, very cool to have. And last but not least, in the cage area, let's move on from being lightweight and small to, yeah, still being small, but not being lightweight and being more like a tank. This is the Beast cage for the iPhone 14 Pro, but they do also have an updated version for the iPhone 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, and so on. And I've also made a full review about that, and also about this telephoto lens that they have right here. You can just attach it, just screw that in. And this is, as the name already applies, this is an absolute beast of a cage. This is very massive, this is built like a tank basically. And if you want to get the most security, if you want to have, you know, your phone secured in, and if you want to film out of a car and not have to worry about your phone, then this is the cage that I would go for. All right, so we're getting closer to the end of this video. If you made it this far, make sure to comment down below. Next category is all about lights. And when it comes to lights, there are basically a million different options out there. And I picked two of my current favorite ones, but as you know, I also love to use these Nanlite tube lights behind me. But these two lights, they are the ones that I currently really enjoy using. And the reason for that is mostly because of its size. So as you can see, especially this one from Scion, this is the Molus G60. This is freaking tiny. So even if I place my iPhone 15 Pro next to it, you can see that this is very tiny. It has that boxy design. It's overall super simple to use. At the top here, you have an on-off button. You just long press this and then it turns on. At the back, you have a tiny screen. You can change the color temperature. So this is a bicolor light. I think it goes from 2600 all the way to 6400 Kelvin. And you can also change the light output. At the side here, you have this button. Just unlock that, and then you have the screw mount, and you have a 1/4 screw here at the bottom. It does also have a fan, I think, but it's very, very quiet, so you don't notice that. It is a very strong light, especially considering like how tiny it is. You could also attach a softbox and use it as a key light, but what we have been doing most of the time is just place this behind a person whenever we're filming a statement or an interview. And we have also been using this as a backlight to get a very cool perspective and to separate the person, the subject in front of the camera from the background. So very, very cool and very, very affordable light as well. Scion does also have another light that I very enjoy, but we're currently using this on another set, and this is their G100, I think it's called. It's also very, very small, very compact, and this has massive light output, and for us this even replaced our Aperture 120D. But now let's move on from Scion over to SmallRig, and this is a light that I've just recently been reviewing. I just recently got this in the studio, so I won't go like super in depth on what this can do, but overall the cool thing that this SmallRig light has going for it compared to the Scion one is that it does have a built-in battery, so I can basically just use this without even having to plug this into the wall. I think it does have a battery life of up to 40 minutes, I think it can go even longer, but just depending on how strong you're turning it on. And whenever you're using it, like you're filming with a gimbal and walking and filming a person walking, having a light like this is very, very handy to have. All right, then last but not least, let's move away from the gear and let's move over to some of my favorite apps that I enjoy using at the moment, like a ton. And first up is CapCut. I'm sure you're familiar with CapCut. We do have an entire CapCut masterclass. In case you're interested in that, we will also link that down below. But if you're searching for an editor where you can edit on the go, fast and easy, it does also have a desktop version. This is definitely very, very handy to have. It does have AI auto cut features. You can also like cut out your background automatically. You can add subtitles. Basically, you can do everything that you want. Fast and easy. There is a free version out there. If you want all the features, they do also have a pro version. So yeah, we also made plenty of videos about this on the channel. So I will also link one up there. The next app that I really enjoy using at the moment is called Detail. I also made a full review about this just recently, so I will also link that up there. And basically this is just very handy for speeding up your filming process. Like whenever you want to show off something, like for example, you want to film yourself and also your back camera, so you can see I'm filming both with the front and the back camera simultaneously, or you want to make a reaction video or like whatever it might be that you want to do, it can do that super fast, super easy. But again, full review will be linked up there. The next app that I want to talk about is called Camo or Camo Studio. Like I'm not quite sure. I cannot show you like a lot right now, but basically what this does, it lets you connect your iPhone to your Mac, and then you can basically use your iPhone as a webcam. And now you might be thinking like, well, I can also do this without the app. And that is true. But one thing that is very cool with the Camo app is that you can then also change between the different lenses. You can lock your exposure. You can change the white balance. Like basically you have all the control that you would have within the Blackmagic app, for example, but you can control this on your computer. So like, for example, if you're recording yourself, doing podcasts on your computer or doing lots of video calls, having Camo is very, very cool to have. I think it's like, I'm not quite sure like how much this costs, but yeah, very, very cool to have, and definitely make sure to check it out because I think it's very, very affordable. And last but not least, there is one more app that I want to talk about, and that is the Blackmagic video app. I have also made an entire video about this in the past, but this, in my opinion, just completely blew Filmic Pro out of the water. It does have all the options that you would ever like to have. You can change the shutter speed, white balance, ISO. You can change between the different lenses. You can even shoot in Apple Log using that app completely for free. You can shoot in ProRes 4444. So yeah, it has all the features that you would ever want to have, and it's completely for free, and you don't need to pay anything at all like you had to do with Filmic Pro. Alrighty guys, there you have it. This is my list of my favorite pieces of equipment and also the software that I like to use whenever I'm creating content with my smartphone. What is your favorite pieces of gear and what is your favorite software? Let me know in the comments down below. And again, in case you have not checked out our smartphone agency, which will launch very, very soon, then make sure to click the first link below that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.